their talent got better, but again, kind of a theme to these AFC ones will be the AFC just got better. Raiders got better. Broncos got better. I think you can maybe make a case KC got better, but obviously that's down the road. But I'm just saying, I just think in general, because obviously with all the injuries to Baltimore last year, Baltimore is going to be better. With the, well, I'm not going to get into all the teams. I just think, and like I said, I think Luggs is probably closer to what reality will be. They'll probably be close to 7 wins because I agree with him. I think Trevor Lawrence, as disappointing as he was last year, he will show definite growth this year. I don't know to what extent, but I think he will make a big leap.
Enough to lose one more game. So Doug Peterson just sent off the alarm. They're scrambling at the stadium. They got wow, that is rough. 2-15. Okay, my mind's a little foggy, COVID and everything in our lives. Is this Trevor's second season? This is a sophomore jinx for the young man?
2. Yeah, it's the second.
All right. Well, so he goes from 3 wins to 2. That is what you call success in anybody's book. But you're saying basically there's just too many L's already on their schedule. That's the bottom line.
I'm asking, but because it's probably coming up, and Luggs probably agrees with me that there's only one team that's possibly talent-wise is worse than the Jaguars in the AFC. It's just there's not a lot of depleted rosters. It's Jaguars, which got better, and Houston Texans, which I'll let Luggs talk about. Houston Texans.
Gee, same division. Could it be? Luggs, where do you have those guys? The Tejas Texans.
Well, the Texans at 4, when you've got a coach named Lovey in a violent sport, I just, love has no place in the NFL.
I thought it was a finesse sport, dog. It's not.
No, that was soccer.
That was soccer.
Yeah, that was that other thing that pretends to be football.
Okay. All right. So anyway, I just checking the word on you. Checking but Lovie Smith, right? Well, hats off to the Love man. If you need a coach looks like Santa Claus, plus, he's your guy. Yeah.
That's a fine beard, man, except it's all white. But anyhow.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with having a big white beard?
Go ahead there.
Father Christmas everyone loves Father Christmas.
Father Christmas. Please,
not the Grinch, man. He wants to smoke him. But anyway, so the Texans, when you've got Davis Mills as your starting quarterback.
True.
I just don't hold out much hope, but they do play some interesting games. They've got the Bears, they've got the Giants, they've got the Commanders, and they've always got the Jaguars to beat up on if they can. So my projection, I'm going to say they're going to win 5 games. So 5-12. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Again, his projection is probably closer to reality than mine. I'll get to mine later. But I will say
I hear a 1-win season coming from you. One.
Lovey, like what you all said, Lovey, God bless him. He was defensive coordinator. He took over after David Culley was fired. And they flirted with Josh McCown, who is just coached high school football. Still the most bizarre thing. Anyway, I'm not going to go off on that side rant. God bless him. He took a dire situation.
Dire straits.
And he was obviously an excellent coach for the Chicago Bears, but I just hope he's well compensated because I don't think even Lombardi could come back from the dead and make this team an above 500 team. And look, they got better too, just kind of like the Jaguars. The problem is that just the AFC got so much better in general. I mean, and Luggs hit on it. David Mills, he finished strong last year. And you know what? Who's to say he can't become a solid starter? But that being said, with where they're probably going to be drafting, they're going to draft a quarterback. I'm not even saying this to be a knock on Davis Mills. I'm just saying if you have the potential to take CJ Stroud, who's probably coming out of Ohio State next year, you probably take CJ Stroud over Davis Mills. It's not that Davis Mills is bad, but I struggled to find their strength. I looked at their defensive line. They have Malik Collins, who's a stout tackle who can generate pressure, and Jonathan Greenyard, who gives them a presence off the edge. And they signed Jerry Hughes, who's I think close to 35 at this point. he gives them a third down specialist if that's what they use him for. Hopefully he's not an every down player at this point. But I look at their secondary again, kind of like the Jaguars. I look at their secondary. They have 2 rookies they're going to have to start right away and just be great for them to even flirt with winning 6 or 7 wins, and Derek Stingley Jr. and Jalen Petra. I mean, and like I said, you look at bad secondaries. This is why I keep hitting on this. You look at bad secondaries. You look at Mahomes. You look at you look at Russell Wilson. You look at Justin Herbert. You look at Joe Burrow. You look at all Derek Carr.
A lot of rifles there. A lot of rifles.
Yeah,
yep.
You're playing a lot of games, so that's why. Again, I think Lugs is probably more accurate. I have them getting the big goose egg. They go 0-17.
Wow.
Whoa.
All right, couple of things. You said you used the word stout tackler. Stout. Is that an acronym for, did you mean to say something else and you're being kind, or stout? That's a dark beer to me.
I mean, he probably
built like a fire plug. Is that better?
Yeah, built like a fire plug. How about that?
Okay, and I'm going to throw down a gauntlet here, a bet. Write it down, mark the tape. Here we go. At some point at a press conference, Lovey will say these words: Rex is our quarterback. Huh? Remember? 2006 Super Bowl, I think. Isn't that the one Peyton won? Colts beat the Bears. And Rex Grossman. Rex is our quarterback. And he got ripped all year long, and Lovey would say that at every stinking press conference.
Well, he's already said Davis is our quarterback. I mean,
I got to get that sound. We'll find that somewhere.
Yeah.
Old Rexy.
I mean, look, God bless Rex Grossman. David Mills already in one season has shown more than Rex Grossman, I think. I don't hate Rex Grossman.
That's okay to hate him.
I don't want to hate him.
Not a friend of the show.
I'll put it this way: I can't hate a guy who, from everything I heard, he worked hard at his profession. He just wasn't good. I can't hate on. I can't hate on that guy. I know that sounds like I'm trying to be mean. I'm not. He just wasn't good. Like, you hear guys that are talented that never live up to potential or being lazy about. Those are the guys that can get upset about. Like, there's guys that are, just don't have the talent to really muster playing at a high level at their profession. But they're good people. I'm not going to hate on those people.
Man, you got them wearing the collar. 0-17. That'll be an NFL record, will it not? I mean, we've had 0-16s. This will obviously be the worst.
Yeah, man, go look at that schedule. That schedule is
brutal
with a capital.
So Lovey
B.
gets a 1-year shot, and that's it. That'll be it.
Like I said, I hope he's paid well. I just hope he's paid well.
Well, you kind of threw me off. Lugs, do you want to do a little sports ESG, and we'll come back? I got to collect myself here.
Yes. Give me just a moment to get there.
All right, well, I'll fill it in with this stuff right here. It's Sports of Yesteryear. We set the machine way back to 1906 or somewhere in there, and Lugs does it for us. Lugs, go ahead, Lugs.
All right, we're going back a little further. 1897, Wimbledon women's tennis. Whoa! England's Blanche Bingley Hilliard wins her 4th title, beating Charlotte Cooper. 1919, Boston Red Sox. Carl Mays pitches a complete doubleheader. Imagine that, a man pitching 2 games. Yes, against the Yankees. The first game he won 2-0. Second game he lost 4-1. And to keep our international listeners happy, 1938, Donald Bradman scores his century, 102 in a drawn second test cricket match at Lord's. Don't know what any of that means, but there you are, folks. 1939, Joe Louis beats Tony Galinto by TKO in the 4th round for his 7th heavyweight boxing title defense. 1958, U.S. Open Women's Golf, Forest Lake Country Club. Mickey Wright wins her first of 4 Open titles. She's the first women's player to win the Open and the LPGA in the same year. 1971, let's bring it closer to home. U.S. Supreme Court 8-0 turns over the draft evasion conviction of Muhammad Ali. And finally, staying close to home, 2012 NBA draft. Kentucky center Anthony Davis was the first pick by the New Orleans Pelicans. and now he's at the Lakers and has played like 80 games in 15 years or something. He's never on the court, but he looks good when he is. That's sports of yesteryear, gang.
All right, well, thank you for that, man. I love that double-header guy. One guy throws one double-header. Wow. Impressive. Against the Yankees, the Bombers, too.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, we can't get guys to throw 5 innings anymore, can we? 6? They say what do they call it?
Oh, no, they've got, you've got your starter, your second inning reliever, your third inning reliever. I mean, it's like no guy. It's kind of like Little League now. You only get 26 pitches, and then you got to rest your arm.
Yep. That's some rough stuff there. Yeah, it's just we got guys a quality start of 6 innings, and they make $15 million a year.
Oh, and more.
Okay. Hey, T-Dog, you had a little news and notes on the NFL. We skipped over. Let's talk about that, and then we'll talk a little bit about Arch Manning as well. Go ahead.
Okay. This is just, I guess note number 831 and why Daniel Snyder is a dastardly human being.
Yeah.
On June the 22nd, the Oversight Committee essentially kind of noted that he ran a shadow investigation where with the Wilkins report that the NFL has not given to the Oversight Committee, and it sounds like they will never give the Oversight Committee. But anyway, he had his legal advisors went after the accusers and Washington Post reporters. They had private investigators try to give out hush money to these people as well. Also talked to Wilkinson's law firm to focus on the former team president, Bruce Allen, as the source to blame for the toxic culture that was there. And then use federal court's subpoena power to obtain private emails and communications to uncover sources and undermine their credibility. So just again,
man,
what will it take? And again, you all can follow up on it, but I'll just say just briefly, what will it take to get this man not to be the owner of this team? I don't know.
Well, Goodell told Congress, I don't have the authority to move him out. Somebody else has to do that. And that's the owners, right?
Yeah. And they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Plus, my favorite part of this whole deal is, so they want to deliver a subpoena. So Snyder is conveniently on the French Riviera in his $110 million yacht, and his lawyer, they can't find the lawyer either. They're both out of the country,
Yeah, she's supposedly out of the country, not with him, for another reason. No. But
oh man, well, that's probably as much time as we should deservedly give Mr. Snyder. Okay, let's talk about. There's a new Manning in the house. Arch Manning, nephew of Eli and Peyton, grandson of Archie. Is he Cooper's son, by the way?
Yes, he's Cooper's son.
Chooses University of Texas, Tejas. Are you guys surprised? A team that went, 5-7 last year?
Money talks, baby. That oil money talks. That's all I'm saying.
He goes right for it right there.
He's making, in his first year, he's making more than either Peyton or Eli in their first contracts with the NFL. So that says it all to me.
Well, you know what? Just to be non-cynical, just give a non-cynical perspective.
Just a sports answer.
Which I'm not saying isn't accurate. A good piece written by Sam Conn Jr. for The Athletic. He said it sounded like A.J. Miller, who is the Texas QB coach, was a secret weapon that built the relationship with Arch by coming to his high school weight room, constantly calling him and his coach, going over their offense when he came to visit Texas. And even the coach, Nelson Stewart, who was the high school coach for Arch, he said he developed his offense to be similar to that of Sarkisian. So obviously from a adjustment standpoint, it'd probably be a relatively smooth transition for Arch from his high school offense to this one. And say what you about Sarkisian, I know it was a rough year last year. He helped develop Carson Palmer and Matt Leinart at USC. He helped develop Tua Tagovailoa and Mac Jones at Alabama. And he had some success. I'm not going to give him a lot of credit for Matt Ryan in Atlanta. His better years were prior to Sarkisian, but still, He helped to develop those guys. And, when you think about it too, I'm not going to say, obviously,